Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's ride turned out to be some absolute carnage. There were some epic flow trails, a few jumps, and this.
Oh man!
This week's video comes from the gnarly hills of Flyup 417 Bike Park. 417 is a 100-acre farm draped across the hillside in Gloucestershire. It has everything.
Drop in!
A number of differently graded downhill trails, a dedicated uplift service, a pump track, shop, cafe, bike wash, and today I've even got a couple of mates to ride with. We're pretty psyched to hit the trails today because we've booked our first uplift of the year. This is going to be awesome. Keen to hit the downhill trails, we caught the uplift to the trailhead, ready for a slow warm-up down our first trail. We thought we'd take an easy run down one of the blue trails first.
Here we go.
Here I'm following Chris, Gary and Craig into the Blue Raccoon Flow Trail. This is one of the easiest trails here, perfect for a warm-up lap. A decent warm-up helps you get used to the trail and helps prevent injuries. Or so we thought. Things were going well, but then in the first 20 seconds of riding our first trail of the day, I came around the corner to see bikes laying down on the trail and Chris holding his knee together. About 5 seconds before I got there, this happened.
Oh man! No! Knee's bad. Ah, right, we need to get you to the bottom.
It was obvious at this point that Chris needed medical attention. He managed to roll himself down to the bottom of the trail to get some help. Now, I'm genuinely not sure how much gory footage I'm actually allowed to show on YouTube, but Chris has completely opened up his kneecap. The accident came completely out of the blue. Chris is a super nice guy and one of the better riders of the group. It didn't seem like a huge crash, but he had some really big injuries. Once patched up, he was taken to A&E. Poor Chris has to have a skin graft on his knee and suffered a fractured arm. If you want to see a bit more about that, check out Adventure Trails MTB's video. Not an ideal start to the day's riding, but back on the hill we headed up for our first proper run. This is us heading back in for a second run down the infamous Blue Raccoon. Dropping in we were all slightly wary, but so far so good. Even with the fact that this trail took out one of our buddies earlier, it's actually a nice little flow trail. Like most blues, it's got a lot of flowing corners, a few small tabletops, and it wiggles its way nicely down the hill without anything too technical. It does have a couple of tight corners that can catch you out if you're not ready for them. But despite the easy nature of this trail, we were all riding a little slower and being a bit more cautious than we normally would. It's surprising how much seeing a crash can actually get in your head and really mess up your riding. We found that we were taking corners slowly, second guessing ourselves and not hitting jumps properly. We seemed to be in a bit of a funk. But there's nothing like a good ride to get you out of a rut. And the further we went down the hill, the better we started feeling. Lucky for us, this funk didn't last long. By the time we made it to the bottom of Blue Raccoon, we were pumped up and ready for more trails. So it's time to get riding. Cue the montage.
Nice.
After spending the rest of the morning riding trails everywhere, we went for a run down the other blue cheese roller.
Oh, I remember this being a bit loose at the top.
This trail starts right from the top of the bike park and finishes right down at the bottom by the uplift. The top part of Cheese Roller has a number of switchbacks. The trail today was really dusty and had loads of gravel on the track. Although fun, this made the berms a lot slower because you have to take everything a bit more carefully. Despite this, it was an exciting trail. As you make your way further down, there are plenty more bermed corners. So many in fact, by the time you get to the bottom, even the most novice rider will be a cornering pro. Although we're all riding our full suspension bikes today, this trail would be great on a hardtail. Throwing the stable back end of a hardtail around these corners would be a great way to dance down the hill. After flowing your way down for about 3 minutes, you swoop your way into the last straight. This has 3 progressive larger tabletops. The difficulty of this trail being a blue means that these jumps are great for progressing. After so many corners on the way down, it was good to have an exciting feature to end on. The next trail is igneous, one of the reds. This takes the technical riding up a notch, adding some rock features and small rock drops and jumps. The first part here is a bit tighter and again really loose, but I actually like this more technical style of trail riding. At certain points in the trail you can split off onto other red sections. These mean that you can tackle some other awesome features on your way down. This also keeps the trails a bit more varied and more interesting. You can literally hop on and off a couple of these different trail sections to make up a line that best suits you. Carrying on down the main line, we uncovered some small rock drops and a couple of rock gardens. This really is a maze of different trail options and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, totally missed that one.
Heading into the last section, there were a few larger tabletops. Craig is riding in front of me for this one. Check out the near miss he has when he lands this next jump. Luckily, he held it together and styled it out across the grass. What a great save. The last run of the day is one of our favourite tracks on the hill, the red line called Dobby Skipper. This trail seems to be a bit faster than the other reds and has a few fun drops and a nice flow to it. It also has some bigger jumps and some optional doubles, if you're that way inclined. Getting started on the trail, you hit a couple of drops. These have steep landings and tight berms at the bottom. Brilliant for building up a bit of a speed, but they can catch you out. After the drops, we cased our way along the trail, bypassing the huge doubles on the right hand side. This middle section of trail is where things start to flow really nicely. You can get into quite a nice rhythm on Dobby Skipper. However, there are a couple of hidden features that you need to keep an eye out for, like this berm to rock garden. As you've probably noticed throughout this video, we're all casing a lot of the tabletops here. It's clear that we're still a bit haunted by Chris's accident earlier and are holding back on the jumps. We're off our game. For comparison, this is us on our game, hitting the A47 jump line at Bike Park Wales. What a difference. But you're going to have to wait another couple of weeks to see that video. Luckily, we all safely made it down to the bottom of the trail with no more accidents. So, with all the trails ridden and an uplift day under our belts, we were done. What a great place to ride. With another couple of uplifts planned before the end of the summer, this was a great warm-up. Thanks for coming along to Flyup 417 with me today. Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.